Let's go, Maestro.
Live from London and streamed around the world, it's time for Harold Sanditen's Open Mic Party. Please welcome your host, Harold Sanditen.
The stately homes of England we proudly represent. We only keep them up for Americans to rent. Though the pipes that supply the bathroom burst, and the lavatory makes you fear the worst, it was used by Charles I, quite informally, and later by George IV, on a journey north. The state apartments keep their historical renown. It's wiser not to sleep there in case they tumble down. But still, if they ever catch on fire, which with any luck they might, we'll fight for the stately homes of England. So I bought this adorable 28-room fixer-upper. And now my neighbors are the Beckhams. They just can't believe what I am doing with the place. But my stately home of England is sadly in a state, demanding innovations to keep it up to date. Neighbors say my coat of arms is vile. The coat, I'm told, is last year's style. I blithely face each trial with my pecker up, getting hot tips galore, watching Channel 4. I had a swell idea and sold the Chip and Dale, replaced it with IKEA, got everything on sale. My satellite dish in Tudor style is outre, but it's smart. State of art is my stately home of England. So you know those shows like Stately Home Rescue? I decided I needed an expert, so I called one in. I met with Sarah Beanie, who's really rather nice. And over a martini, she gave me some advice. Said the place has enormous cost to meet, a fortune alone to pay for heat. She said build a kiosk suite, sell some souvenirs. I did, but the air still reels from the jellied eels. Whenever I get bluesy, I take a soothing float in the piping hot jacuzzi I built within the moat. My neon sculpture of Big Ben makes a statement bold and bright. It's just right for my statement home. Well, the grounds were awfully dreary with boring trees and rocks. So I tattooed all the hedgehogs and I tie-dyed every fox. Then I brought the maze more up to date, pruned a bush so it looks like Princess Kate. Prince William adorns my gate. Now he swings both ways. The library, oh no, those books just had to go. I painted the front door in the style of Sweeney Todd. It's equal parts Ralph Lauren and the Marquis de Sade. To beautify my view, I hired a gardener tall and cute. What a beaut in my studly home of... Oh, I'm sorry. I mean my stately home of England. He's just right for my stately home of England.
Thank you. Thank you all so much, and welcome to the open mic. Can you believe that as of this month, it's now May, this show has been running for 9 years. It's so exciting, and many of you have been with us live from the very beginning, and I just can't tell you how exciting it is. I was telling people before that I did a calculation, and as of the next show, which will be on the 20th of May, we will have had 446 singers on this show since the pandemic started virtually, which I think is just amazing. And I'm really proud of the fact that From nowhere, this show seems to have gone from strength to strength and provided a platform for people from all over the world to share music and come together. And I'm just really, really excited about that. Um, I also want to say that these shows are free to watch, but they're not without cost. So if you can afford it, please donate a minimum of £3.50 or $5 per show to help offset the costs amongst everybody who's watching on Zoom, on Facebook, and on YouTube around the world. That would help offset the costs. And the only other thing I want to tell you is that we've just got one more virtual show, which is on the 20th of May, and then we'll be taking a break before live shows start on the 8th of July. And they're already on sale, and there are only 4 tables left. So I'm going to put the link in the chat right now for you. And I would suggest that if you want to come to the open mic live, that you book a table now. You have to book a full table, so you may have to find people to share with. It's tables of 3 and 4 that are available. And I think that's everything you need to know from me. So I'm delighted to be welcoming our first singer. It's Shireen Francis with Anton Brown on piano and vocals.
Where?
If you should ever plan to motor west, travel my way, take the highway, that's the best. Get your kicks on Route 66. Well, it winds from Chicago to LA, more than 2,000 miles all of the way. Get your kicks, get your kicks, get your kicks on Route 66. Goes through St. Louis, Joplin, Missouri, and Oklahoma City, and sure mighty pretty. You'll see Amarillo, Gallup, New Mexico, Flagstaff, Arizona. Don't forget Winona, Kingston, Boston, and San Bernardino. Now, won't you get hip to that brand new tip? The next time you take that California trip, get your kicks on Route 66. Go through St. Louis, Joplin, Missouri, and Oklahoma City. Sure mighty pretty. You'll see Amarillo, Gallup, New Mexico, Flagstaff, Arizona. Don't forget Winona, Kingston, Boston, and San Bernardino. Now won't you get hip to that brand new tip? The next time you take that California trip, get your kicks, get your kicks on Route 66. Get your kicks, get your kicks, get your kicks on Route 66. Oh
Oh, wow. Shireen, that was really just amazing.
Too
You
kind.
there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Oh, wow, that was amazing. And that's said from somebody who I told you earlier was born on the Route 66.
You were. You were.
I was.
Yes,
No, you
yeah,
weren't. You were born here. I discovered that just a little while ago.
yeah. I was born in Balham, London.
Balham, wow.
Balham, in the
I've been there once.
Weir Road Hospital, to be exact. It's not there anymore. Oh.
So, you've been busy during lockdown. You've had all these Zoom jazz classes and open mics and stuff. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, well, it started off, getting a few students in for lessons, and then I felt I needed a bit of structure for the week, because you stay in bed all day otherwise. So I started with John Levette, actually, wherever he is in the scheme of things here. I decided that I would do like some warm-ups at 9 o'clock in the morning, and I would mute. We'd both be muted, and I'd share my computer, and we do these warm-ups. So it went from 2 days a week at 9 o'clock to 3 days a week. Now I've got quite a few people now on the warm-ups, and we've been doing the same thing, since October, I think. So I've been doing that and lessons, and that's it really, and looking at a few ideas for after the lockdown.
Well, you've got a tour coming up too. You told me you've got a mini tour.
I've called it a mini tour because it's I've got about
What
3
is it,
gigs.
2 days?
3 gigs in. No, I've got
Three.
I've actually got 4 dates. Three in June and 1 in July.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So what's the show?
Well, it's not. It's my Small Island project. It's only 3 of us. So I've got Dominic Grant on guitar, and who's Cy Grant's son. I don't know if you know Cy Grant. He was an actor. And anyway, if you don't know him, doesn't matter. And Mark Cherry on steel pan.
Wonderful. And you've also got an EP coming out. Which the song?
Well, I'm working on it. Yeah, it's something. In fact, Donna, you'll remember this. Donna produced me for this. Donna was over. Yeah. It was a little while ago, a few years ago. I did. It was only 4 tracks, and Donna came to the studio and produced my voice. And I didn't do anything with it. I paid this money out for it. I didn't do anything with it. So I decided I'm going to put it out now.
Wonderful. Well, I can't wait. Yeah, exactly, Donna. I'm so glad I've got to hear you again, because I think we've only met maybe the once or twice. I think we met at open.
Well, I came to one of your gigs at Pheasantry. That was some years ago.
Yeah.
And then I met you at the open mic at
You came to the
Crazy
open
Cops.
mic, and then I think I saw you at Melissa's.
Yes.
And then I think I haven't seen much of you, but I love your voice.
Oh, thank you.
I just love your voice. Thank you so much. You just really a lot of good energy. I love that.
Thank you.
Have you got like travel plans now that the world is opening up? Are you going anywhere? Is there anything exciting?
Well, so far I'm only going as far as Aldi around the corner. So nothing else is happening. That's been my, that's once a week I go to Aldi. I think that's about all I've been doing, apart from a little walk every now and then. But I've also been trying to do workouts in front of YouTube. They've got walking workouts. So I've got so lazy to go out,
Well, that's as good as going on a trip. You can just visualize the whole thing.
Oh, of course, absolutely.
But thank you so much, and thanks
Thank you for
Anton
having me.
too. Thank you to Anton for the fabulous piano playing and the wonderful scatting too. So really delighted to have you on.
Thank you. And I loved your video at the beginning. It was great fun. I mean, you always do something really great anyway, so it's fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Shireen Francis, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right. Well, now we're going to stay in the UK, but it's time for an Australian singer, Lauren Lucille.
I fall in love with the wrong man. I fall in love with the wrong man. I fall in love, it's true. And I've fallen in love with you. Oh, I can't help but love you, but I can already tell that I should walk right past you, but I can't, I already fell. Oh, you're so sweet and then some, tall, dark and handsome, I don't think I did you cast this little spell? Under your charm I fell. I cannot see. You've blinded me by your beauty. Sue me, I hope you don't see through me. I can't help but love you, 'cause I think you're just swell. Down, da, 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 dee. Da, 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 oh, you're so damn appealing. I can't help stealing kisses from you throughout the day. 'Cause I'm yours and you are mine, and we are flying high. Now, how do we last the test of time? So far we're doing just fine. How can we be so fancy free? Let's just stay here forever and always be together. I can't help but love you, 'cause I think you're just swell. You're swell.
So good. So good.
Oh, that was wonderful, Lauren. You're going to have to unmute yourself, sweetheart. There you go. You there?
I'm coming.
Where are you? I'm curious now.
I'm in Neil's yard, and this lovely lady just watched the song with me.
Oh,
And that
wonderful.
was who served me my hand cream, which is my favorite hand cream in London. I was meant to be at home. I was actually meant to be with Ralph tonight, but I just had so many delays that were out of my control. So you get me. Is it better if I go this way?
Yeah, that's
Probably.
better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, wonderful. Well, I love that song. That was so beautiful, and you
Thank
sing it so
you.
well. When did you write that?
Probably in 2020. No, 2019, I think. Yeah.
And so do you fall in love with the wrong men?
Yeah, sometimes. Well, it came out, so I would have had to do it, it came out of somewhere true,
Yeah. So what's going on with you? You said you've got some gigs coming up. I want to hear all about them. What's happening?
Oh wow, I have Ronnie Scott's upstairs with Joe Caleb, amazing guitarist. It's a Latin gig, just us two, just guitar and voice. I think that's the 4th of June. The 8th of June is, that doesn't make sense. I've got the dates mixed up. But I've got one at Toulouse-Lautrec, the French restaurant in Kennington. You have to book for all of these, of course. And I've got La Cucumber at Battersea with Antonio and Antonio Mazzinotto and Dave Mannington on bass. So we're doing Joe and Ella Fitzgerald and Joe Pass. And Toulouse-Lautrec is with Dan Hewson, who's also an amazing pianist. So I can't wait.
Oh, wonderful.
I also have a live
gig
gig
in June. When is that?
Sorry. They're in June.
Yeah.
They're all on my website. If you go to laurenlucillemusic.com and click on shows. So laurenlucillemusic.com and click on shows, and they're all there. And the links to the tickets are all there. It's very clear. And I've got one on the 14th of May, an originals gig, like for an hour online. And that's on my webpage as well for details.
LaurenLucilleMusic.com. So also tell me about your songwriting project with your publisher.
Yeah, so basically I was writing with Dan, and we, that song we played last time, My Kind of Christmas. So our publisher made that video, and then we were talking one day, and I sent him a song that I'd written that was like kind of country folk, 3-part harmony. And he said, "Oh, that's amazing. Write me 10 more like that, and I'll send it out to my agents and my, links all over the world." And I went, okay. So I got busy writing all of those, and he's in the middle of producing them, like putting all the cool instruments on. And we finished that project, and now we're doing a ukulele project. So now I bought myself a nice ukulele and I'm just learning the chords as I need them, I guess, and just learning as I go. So I've already.
Have you played the ukulele before?
No, I borrowed one from a friend and I wrote one song on it in like the wrong tuning once. So it's really, it's not my favorite instrument, but I think there's a purpose for most things. So I've written a couple songs. I've got 6 other ideas. I just have to quickly finish them and get them out so I can start making some money from selling my songs.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Start making some money again. Yeah, like
Yeah.
You know, we all need to do that. Well,
Yeah.
it's always a pleasure to have you on the show. I'm glad that
Yeah.
we've reconnected here, and I hope I'll see you live at the open mic.
I can't wait. It's going to sell out. I think it's already sold out, isn't it? The first show,
There's
for
4
sure.
tables left, so
Yeah, exactly.
you need to get together. But there's only 40 seats, so it's and you have to buy a whole table, so you need to come with some friends.
Are you going to live stream so that all these people that are watching now can watch the show?
Unfortunately, no. They make it so complicated and expensive to do it. It's like you live stream, and if you don't stream 100 tickets, you make £2.
Oh, no.
It's
You can't
crazy.
just like press record on your little phone.
You would have thought. You would have thought. I mean, I'm able to do this from home. You would think that in a venue where they put up all the live streaming equipment, it would be easy and cheap, but it's not.
Yeah.
So
Well,
unfortunately, no. But we're going to keep the virtual shows going once a month, probably starting in September. I'm going to take the summer off because I think people are going to want to be anywhere but on their sofa.
Yeah. I started the London singing group just a month before lockdown, the first lockdown, and we were in Toulouse-Lautrec in the venue. So I've taken it online, and we've been doing it every single Sunday since. And we started a Tuesday night group as well. So we're hoping to bring that into the venue again. It's a group singing lesson, basically. LondonSingingGroup.com. And just a wonderful group of people. We're going to take it back online, but we're going to live stream so our European people can keep doing
And
it.
watch. I know.
Yeah.
I'm going to have another conversation with the Crazy Cocks about this because we do have a big group of international people, and it would be stupid not to stream it. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us again.
And thanks to Ralph.
No less.
Yeah, and thanks to Ralph for doing the video for me. We really, he didn't know the song like 10 minutes before we recorded that. So thank you for doing that, Ralph, and see you soon.
Thank you, Ralph. Thanks, Lauren. Thank you. Lauren.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, Niels Yard. Proudly
Thank you,
sponsored
Niels
by. He says thank you.
Bye for now.
Awesome.
Bye, sweetie. Bye. Okay, we're going to stay in the UK. It's time for Ralston and Young.
This song goes out to anyone who's ever been replaced in a relationship by a small handheld electronic device. We feel your pain. I am an iPad widow, waiting for you offline. You turn her on, I watch her glow in the arms that once were mine. She's your early morning lover at the start of each new day. You slip your hands beneath her cover, then roll the other way. I feel like I'm in airplane mode. On standby, I have to wait. Is there an app I can download to fix another date? I long to have some FaceTime or just a casual swipe. If I want you to notice me, I have to get on Skype. Your passcode is a mystery. I feel like I've been blocked. You've cleared me from your history, and it's days since I've been docked. I've not been docked. It's clear that you're on safari. It's over, this is it. Like an obsolete Atari, we've no choice but to force quit. I'm all out of emojis to tell you how I feel. I have to face the sorry truth. Our love was never real. cheek, two lips that do not speak, a smile for our goodbyes, and a poo with eyes. Control, Alt, Delete.
Hey, brilliant.
Brilliant.
That was really brilliant, guys. Sarah Lou, are you there?
I am. It just makes me laugh so much. I was such a reluctant convert to any kind of video editing or iMovie. And like Michael literally had to kind of like lay a trail of breadcrumbs and go, come on, you can do it. It's not that hard. And then I see what you do every week. And I'm like, okay, there's so much further to go, but it's really fun. It's fun to be allowed to take your songs and do something silly with them, because we wouldn't normally. Of course, I'm desperate to get out and perform, but it's fun to have the excuse to make a very stupid video.
I loved it. I love the song too. So, but that assumes that you and Michael are in bed together, yes?
I don't know what you're talking about.
He rolls over. You've become an iPad widow.
Actually based on a true story. Genuinely, I was in New York and I went to the Apple store. I was told I was going to go on this really nice date, and I got there and I got to the Apple store and then basically got ignored for about 3 hours while my partner, who shall not be named because he's no longer my partner, basically bought an iPad and then proceeded to ignore me for the next 2 weeks of the holidays.
Oh God, how horrible. Well, at least a wonderful song came out of it.
What I really love is I messaged Michael and I said, oh, can you just like do some random iPad love cutaways? And then I just got this amazing download of him like kissing and stroking an iPad. I was like, he's a good actor, that Michael Ralston.
He sure is. Are you there, Michael Ralston?
I am here. Yeah.
We're talking about you.
In very sunny Walthamstow. I've got the sun in my eye, but I'm hello.
That's in the morning and the moon at night.
Yeah.
So what's happening with your bespoke songwriting, you two?
We've been busy. It's been delightful, actually. It's been really lovely. And of course, like everybody, we're itching to get back to performing, but it's such a nice, unexpected thing that has come out of lockdown. So we're hoping we can just keep going with it. And, you know, we get little rushes around certain periods, you know, like Mother's Day or Christmas. And, you know, we have yet to do a bar or bat mitzvah, but it can only be a matter of time.
It's only a matter of time. You need to have a yarmulke first. We need to understand that you're Jewish if we're going to do the... Michael's honorary Jewish for sure. He has been ever since our first trip to New York and his digging into a corned beef sandwich at the Stage Deli. He had to actually release his jaw to open it large enough to bite into the sandwich.
It was the Carnegie Deli, the famous Carnegie Deli.
Oh, it was Carnegie Deli. Oh, yeah. Sorry. They're both gone now. They were next door to each other. You guys have so many gigs coming up. You've got your Ralston Young at the Crazy Cocks on the 22nd of May. Is that correct?
That's right.
And then you've got Je Regrette at Wilton's.
Yeah.
If you've got 3 shows there, am I right?
You've got
just one show.
But it's on Bastille Day. And I can't quite believe we've been allowed to take over Wilton's Music Hall. So yeah, our crazy, tortured, long-suffering French character and Moo are there for Bastille Day. And then we've also got quite a few Julie Madly Deeply, because we were, like a lot of people, we were supposed to do Crazy Cocks at Christmas, and we've rebooked in for August, and we're doing the Brighton Fringe as well. So yeah, all the shows coming out. Got to, you know, wash the costumes, get the dust balls out.
That's really exciting, though. I'm really happy for you both. That's really great. I mean, it must be nice to know that you've got something to look forward to. So much to look forward to, too. Any tours coming up?
Well, we're parting ways in the autumn because Michael, of course, will be joining Fascinating Aida, and I'm taking An Evening Without Kate Bush on the road. So, but it was weird. We were just working out today. We'll be in sort of disparate parts of the country, and then occasionally we'll have to meet up in a service station and have a cheese party.
Well, everything goes via Crewe, so I'll see you in Crewe.
Great.
Why do you take trains everywhere? Does everything go through Crewe?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it used to be for the music hall and vaudeville sort of scene. It used to be a famous meeting place, you see, because all the trains would go through Crewe. So yeah.
believe that Adam Megiddo has written a musical, or at least he was beginning to write a musical called All Change at Crew. And it was all about these characters meeting and almost falling in love and having all these interactions. So, yeah, it's busier than Clapham Junction.
Really? Nothing to be busy in Clapham Junction. I'm not much of a commuter, as everybody knows, so I've only been through Clapham Junction a few times, and I've never been to Crewe, so I'm looking forward to joining you in these places sometime soon.
I haven't lived, Harold.
I haven't lived much, certainly in the last 12 months, that's for sure. But thank you both so much. That was just a terrific song, and it's always a pleasure to have you on the show. And we love you so much, Ralston and Young. Thank you so much. Sarah Louise Young and Michael Ralston, thank you so much. Okay, we're still staying in the UK. It's time for Anthony Cable.
In this jazz vocalese, I'm going to deal with the fundamental laws of physics, psychoanalysis, and the reason why the chicken crossed the road. Here we go. The funkiest of birds, a funky chicken. He struts around the yard, he never will fly. The chicken will never quicken. Flapping his wings is too undignified. He swore he'd never ornithologize. A funky chicken never flies. But then he thought he needed a new abode on the other side of the road. So with his friend the optimistic hedgehog, he started out across, but it was unwise. The traffic was far too frantic. He knew he'd have to ornithologize, or he'd never get to see the other side. He knew that he would have to fly. The hedgehog didn't make it, but that's the reason why the chicken crossed the road. Now, a physicist was facing a conundrum. The universe was round, or was it a square? Expanding or getting smaller? Shaped like a banana or like a pear? How could he prove he equaled MC squared? Was he the only one who cared? Then Einstein, while he was playing his violin, he found a new explanation. The time he had to finish off the project was relatively short, but now he knew why. He worked out a way to stretch it. The faster you go, the slower time goes by. Things happen in the twinkling of an eye. He knew his thoughts would have to fly. But then he found out that the more you find out, the more that there is to find out. Three mothers sat around and had a gossip. Each one had a son she loved and adored. Each thought that her son loved him more. My son, the doctor, loves his mom so much. Bought me a car with leather seats and such. Automatic so you don't declutch. But my son, he is a lawyer and very rich. He bought me an apartment with curtains on the windows, fully furnished. A view across the city, and it's all mine. But my son's a psychiatrist. He's going through a metamorphosis. He's having a psychoanalysis. And just to show he loves his mom, he pays a man a fortune just to listen to him talking about me. The lessons of the song are very simple. Don't ever cross the road while watching the stars. The hedgehog found out to his cost. The young man who had psychoanalysis went through an early middle-age crisis, became his mother's nemesis. And Einstein took not a quantum of Mach's advice. He said that God didn't play dice, but that's a story for the next edition. The funky chicken crossed the road and survived. The hedgehog was made of a saint. The psychiatrist became an analyst. Albert Einstein became an alchemist. The moral of the story is, it really doesn't have one, so you may think this is the end. Well, it is. Yes, it is.
Was amazing.
Noise in the background. You
Yeah,
there,
that's
Anthony?
Hi.
Hi. That was so much fun. That was the coolest funky chicken. And you wrote all that vocalese. How?
I wrote that. It was it's Charlie Parker's Ornithology.
Yeah, but you
Um,
wrote the vocalese. That was just
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, it's great fun.
Is that something you do regularly, or you?
I've written one or two
vocalese
others.
artist?
I've written one on anthropology. He wrote another tune called Anthropology. And anyway, so I've written the vocals on that one. It's not quite as long.
I love this though. It was so much fun. So, what's the part two that you were talking about? The second edition or whatever you said.
Well, Charlie Parker wrote these very fast. He's a bebop, and he wrote these very fast tunes. I've had to slow them down, otherwise I'd never get the words in.
And did Claire Martin work with you on this, or did you do this all by yourself?
Oh, I did that all by myself. First line I was just listening to the tune one night. I was listening to Charlie Parker and Dizzy Gillespie. And the first line, the funkiest of birds, a funky chicken. And then I said, okay, I'll go to pencil and paper. And it came from there. It took about a week to write it.
I really loved it. It's great. It's just really, really creative and so much fun.
Great.
And let's talk about your one-man show with the maestro Michael
Yes.
Ralston, your Jacques Brel show.
Yes, Michael.
The Rage to Live.
Yeah. Well, I wrote the translations for that. We did. Well, let me think about it. It's a little while ago now. I did 15 songs, 5 in English, 5 in French, and 5 using both languages. And in a moment of folly, I said, "Oh, I'll write the translations." Fool that I am. And then found I could do it. So I wrote all the translations for that. Amsterdam, Jackie, and all sorts of others, a bit more obscure that you may not have heard of. Les Marquises, which is, I think, is his last song. Anyway, did all that, and we performed it a lot. But it's been a while. It's been a while now. It's been a couple of years or more since we performed it. And I can't say anything happening at the moment because, of course, there's very little going on in the way of venues. Things are very tricky.
Where do you live now?
I live in Hertfordshire.
Ah, okay, because I thought you weren't in London. Yeah, so
Well, I'm half an hour out of King's Cross, really.
it's not all that far. So have you got any, you don't have any gigs coming up, but
No,
what's
there's nothing
on-
coming at all. Because, of course, I've spent most of my time working in the theatre and musicals. And since all the theatres have closed, there's very little going on. Things are starting to open up again, but I'm just keeping my fingers crossed for not just for myself, but all the people I know. That things are going to pick up a little bit, and we'll see what happens. Please God, there isn't going to be a third wave that's going to shut everything down again.
Well, we're supposed to have booster vaccines in the autumn, from what I've read today. So
Oh yeah, we'll be getting more.
you appear to be over 50, like I am. So
Over 50? What? How dare you?
very dare you. So tell me, are you an actor? I don't, since we haven't met before.
Yeah, of course. Well, all my formal training is as a singer and a musician. But when I started working in music, I worked in opera for years in France. And then when I came back to London and I got into musicals, the contract said actor. So I started calling myself an actor. And you learn. You study, you learn, you take courses, and you find out. And I suppose now I am really.
Well,
But it's my first love is singing. I got to say that's my affliction is singing. It's the thing I can't stop doing.
I'm glad you were afflicted with us. Thank you so very much for that. And Claire, if you're watching, thank you so much for the introduction. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. And Anthony, really a pleasure. I hope I'll see you live at the Crazy Cox, and maybe we'll have you back on the show again too.
Fingers crossed.
I'd love that. Anthony Cable, everyone. Thank you so much. Okay, we're going to make our way across the ocean, finally. To America we go. It's time for Doug Anderson.
We've been friends for years and years, first through pubescence, then adolescence, right up to now. And although I've never pried into your past, well, now at last, I ask you how? How could our friendship grow so close and so intense when I've never really known you, that is in the biblical sense?
and intimate with all my friends and lovers. At least they've intimated, quite untactfully, that I'm the only one who hasn't joined the fun. Yes, everybody's had you but me. Last Christmas I was told by my dear mother that on some drunken wild weekend spree you succeeded to seduce my younger brother Bruce. Now everybody's had you but me. Remember when we went to mass and had our first communion? You were in that damn confessional 4 hours. And at least I thought it odd that a priest, a man of God, would give you that divine bouquet of flowers. Your list of conquest makes who's who a memorandum. No one else could handle a menage a cinq with my cousin Sam the actor and our family chiropractor, and 2 tellers that you picked up at the bank. I love that note. I heard a rumor that you were bisexual and passed it off as just a big disguise. 'Cause though you fume and fuss, I know you're one of us. To you, bisexual means both men and guys. Now I feel slighted and annoyed and quite rejected, and would have told you sooner, but was much too shy. Now if my friends are good enough for your romantic stuff, I ask you now, why aren't I? Now I've admitted I adore you. I beseech you and implore you to dispel this hell and tell me honestly why everybody's had you but me.
Oh, Doug, you are going to have to unmute yourself. But you are, oh, there you go. You're so much fun. Where are you?
I'm in what we call the tree house right now.
You've moved inside.
Yeah, I did, because I was losing my connection outside.
Oh, okay. Well, we hate you for that view. But we love you for all the cocktails you drink.
Yes. I had them all over the house.
It appears that way. They just seem to appear out of nowhere. So what's happening in Minneapolis now that George Floyd is sort of put behind us for a little while?
Well, things have calmed down quite a bit, and things are getting back to a little bit of normalcy now. With the weather turning nicer, people are eating outside, and I'm vaccinated. We have about 60% of the state of Minnesota is vaccinated right now. And so they're opening up a lot of the restaurants and stuff. So it's becoming more and more back to normal, I guess you'd call. So, and it looks like this September, they're going to start opening the theaters here.
Oh, great. Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. Ours are starting to open in 11 days. We start having performances at reduced capacity.
And I'm hoping to be able to this fall to come to make a trip to London.
We would love that. We would love that. Second Thursday of every month, we go forward starting in July, the second Thursday of every month. Yeah. Same old drill you were on before. You're just not a trolley dolly anymore. I hope you get all the benefits.
I missed that.
I said same old drill as before, because you used to come to almost every open mic when you were flying for Delta.
Yeah. I try. Yeah, and I still have my benefits, so I can fly pretty much for very inexpensively. So, and with Scott, he's going to be retiring within the next couple of years. So
you'll
that's
have a lot of free time.
Retirement has been great.
Maybe you'll get a place in London.
Well, hopefully, yes. So we've actually been talking about possibly doing that.
So that would be wonderful.
I'm auditioning at the end of August for a few things that are coming up, and I was just I did a Zoom for Flappers it's a comedy club in Los Angeles 3 days ago. So getting back my foot in the door here. It's about time. I turned 60 years old, and now I'm gonna have my acting career start.
Well, now that you're retired, it's time to start. Yeah, exactly. So what about Crooners? Any gigs coming up at Crooners?
Yeah, I'm just was talking to the guy that books the clubs there, and I'm going to be I've got a show I'm working on right now that'll open in hopefully in either October or November. It may run October to November, so we'll see. It's all exciting, and getting back to normal again.
Yeah, it'll be really great. I'm getting a little nervous about getting on a plane in 21 days, but I'm sure I will get my sea legs when it all happens.
Yep, I haven't been on an airplane since March 11th of 2020.
And I bet you don't miss it since you were on them so regularly.
Well, I can't. Yeah, you're right. I don't miss it at all.
Anyway, sweetie, it's always, you're so much fun. It's always so fun to have you on the show, and I love your song choices. You are Mr. Comedy. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Give my love to Scooter Pie, too, and enjoy that lake. It looks wonderful. We're jealous. Doug Anderson. Now we're going to jump across the Atlantic and make our way back to London for Elizabeth Desiree.
The moon cannot be stolen, love cannot be lost. Love is what you are, the truth will set you free. Love is merely hidden, love is never lost. Love is what you are, and you're beautiful to me. No one can take away the flame in my heart. No one can steal the yellow moon. No one can take away the flame in my heart. I am exploding soon, I'm coming out of my cocoon. Your steam cannot be hidden, it's coming from within. The pressure's getting high, let go or you'll explode. I wanna see you happy, I wanna see you win. Put your burden down and I'll help you to unload. No one can take away the flame in my heart. No one can steal the yellow moon. No one can take away the flame in my heart. I am exploding soon, I'm coming out of my cocoon. I'm coming out of my cocoon. I'm coming out of my cocoon. Woo!
Oh, you came out of your cocoon, sweetheart.
Hello, sweetheart. How are you?
Oh, it's so good to see you. So good to see your
Good
face.
to see you. Thank you for having me here tonight. It was just really sweet of you. Thank you.
It's really good to see you. So what's happening in your world? You still there?
Yeah, I'm back in Knightsbridge. I was at the outlet in Westfield. They closed that down after the final lockdown, or hopefully final lockdown. And yeah, now back in Knightsbridge, but it's very strange in there because like many people have been made redundant, and if you have your job, you feel like, oh my God, I'm very lucky to have my job. Who knows what's around the corner. But you know, it's just wonderful to be working, and this is Moses, he's come to join us. He's my big ginger cat. He's keeping me company on this live interview.
Next time you're going to have to sing Moses Supposes.
Yes.
Do you know that song?
I've heard of it. Who sings that one?
It's It was in Singing in the Rain.
Oh, that's right.
Roses are roses.
Speaking of Singing in the Rain, I watched this wonderful documentary, which I think would interest a lot of people here, of the costumes of the lady who was in Singing in the Rain. Forgive me, I forget her name, but
Debbie Reynolds.
Debbie Reynolds, yes. And her son was doing this big YouTube documentary because he's made a collection of she collected costumes throughout her life and had some of Marilyn's costumes, all the best, most famous costumes. So it was very interesting. You just reminded me with that song.
Well, that's great. So what's happening with you in terms of gigs and other stuff? I've kind of lost track of you because you're not on Facebook and I'm not on social media much anymore.
I think, like Facebook and me are not a good match. I always say too much and then regret what I've said, and I don't feel good with words. Like I'm educated, but especially if I'm emotional or whatever, I don't say things in the right way. So I think it's much better that I'm not in that world, and I like images. Like I like Instagram pictures, that kind of thing. I obviously I would love to do gigs in the future, but who knows? I've really enjoyed making videos for your show. It's like we're learning new skills, I feel. So who knows, darling? I really don't know. Each day as it comes,
Well, I hope we'll see you live at the open mic.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
I would love a big hug and a big kiss.
I would love to hug people. I mean, this is the hardest thing, but yes, I hope so too.
Moses.
Yes, well, Moses gets the hugs. He thinks he's my husband now. He's very disturbing.
You take them where you get them.
Yes.
Thank you so much, sweetheart. That was really a beautiful song. You
Thank
sounded
you.
great. You look wonderful.
Thank you. What a wonderful event. Thank you, Harold. Thank you.
Thank you. Elizabeth Desiree, everybody. Thank you. Okay, we're staying in the UK. It's time for Samantha.
Lift up your face, wash off your mascara. Here, take my Kleenex, wipe that lipstick away. Show me your face, clean as the morning. I know things were bad, but now they're okay. Suddenly you see more is standing beside you. You don't need no makeup, don't have to pretend. Suddenly Seymour is here to provide you sweet understanding.
Nobody ever treated me kindly. Daddy left early, Mama was poor. I'd meet a man and I'd follow him blindly. He'd snap his fingers, I'd say sure. Suddenly Seymour is standing beside me. He don't give me orders, he don't condescend. Suddenly Seymour is here to provide me sweet understanding.
Tell me this feeling lasts till forever. Tell me the bad times are clean washed away.
Please understand that it's still strange and frightening. For losers like I've been, it's so hard to say. Suddenly Seymour, he purified me. Suddenly Seymour showed me I can learn how to be more the girl that's inside me.
Amazing.
Oh, Samantha, that was wonderful. It's so good to see you. It's been forever.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a really long time.
It has been. Were you living in London before? I can't remember.
No, we were just coming up because it was such a lovely atmosphere and we really wanted to do it. But it meant a lot of traveling because we're in
Yeah,
Dorset.
that's a lot of schlepping, a lot of schlepping. But I'm really glad that we're doing the virtual shows, and I'm really glad to see you. It's been like forever. I missed you. I missed your voice. I missed seeing you. And
Oh,
it's so
thank
nice, so
you.
nice, so nice. So tell us about this tour that got aborted, and now you've got it back on again. Dusty, Scylla, Lulu, and Pet. That sounds
Yeah.
like my kind of show.
Well, we were trying to think what to do, and we were doing a tribute to the original Seekers, which was absolutely brilliant for musicians, all the harmonies and all that, which was lovely. And we thought, what can we do to follow that up? So I'm going to show you the poster because it's good. Woohoo!
Woo!
We got a full band, we got dancers, and the tour is starting on the 17th of July. It was supposed to start in February of last year, but that was bad timing. And we're going to be touring the whole UK, dates to come, but they're on my website, samantha.co.uk, so it's easy to remember.
Wonderful. Well, I look forward to that. Are you coming through London at all?
We're going to have to see what we come up with in London. We kind of find it difficult to book in London, being in Dorset. It's a totally different thing from the regional theatres where we usually go, but we're going to try.
And Andy tells me you did 55 live streams during lockdown?
Yeah,
That's like more
we
than one
wanted
a
to
week.
do. We started off doing one a day, just doing like half an hour because it seemed like fun. It ended up being an entirely request show, which was so much fun, but too much for every day. We ended up doing Monday and Friday. Songs requested on the one day would be done in the next show, which meant I learned, I think it was 350 songs because that I just never heard before, and had to learn them over like 2 or 3 days to do them on the live stream, which was so much fun until my brain got full and I had to stop because I couldn't memorize the songs in time.
Oh my God, that's really amazing. I mean, I don't know how anyone learns 300 songs in a year.
Yeah, I mean, I had the lyrics in front of me. I'm not quite that good at memorizing the lyrics, but it was everything else, you know. We had to get the tunes and all the
Yeah, but you
sort
have
out
to
the backing
learn the
tracks
song.
and
If you
everything.
don't know the song, you have to learn it, you know?
Yeah, it was good fun though, and it kept me busy and working and doing things when otherwise I would have just been, just sitting around. Yeah, I have taken up the guitar as well, so that's fun. Hopefully at some point I'll be able to accompany myself, but I only started in August, so I'm still working on it.
Well, that's good. I want to hear about the emu chicks, though. Nobody raises emus, do they?
People do raise emus. Sometimes people farm them, but often they're just pets. Because unlike an ostrich, which is the big ones, or the little ones, which are rheas, emus are really, really friendly. And I was hoping we were going to go and get them yesterday or today, but it looks like it's going to be tomorrow, so I can't show you them. But yeah, 2 chicks. They'll be about that big.
And you're raising them to be pets?
Yeah, just for fun. We have we're lucky enough to have a small amount of land along with our house, but it's not really big enough for most animals. We can't really keep sheep on it. But emus we can keep. So we decided it would be fun.
It sounds like a lot of fun. You're the first person I've ever met that's owned an emu.
Yeah, well, they're really, really friendly though. If you Google emu giving people a hug, you will get tons of results. They're so friendly if you raise them right.
If you're so inclined to Google emu give me a hug. So Andy also tells me you're going to New Zealand and you're going to be trying to book a tour there?
Yeah, that's the plan. We're looking at the which one is it? The Wellington Fringe? Andy is across here. I'm just talking to him.
Yes.
Yes, the Wellington Fringe, and
Adelaide as well.
Adelaide is also doing a fringe, and they're almost at the same time. So we're going to pop over to New Zealand, do the fringe there, pop over to Adelaide, and then go back to New Zealand and tour around and see what we can do about setting up a tour of the Seekers there.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. Well, I'm really glad we've reconnected, sweetheart. It's been a long time, but really good to see your face and great to hear your voice again. And thank you for getting in touch, and thank you for such a wonderful song.
I couldn't resist. Thank you.
Samantha, everyone, thank you so much. And before we move on to our next singer, I just want to say again that these shows are free to watch, but they're not without cost. So if you can afford it, it would be great if you can donate a minimum of £3.50 or $5 per show to help offset the costs amongst everybody who's watching across the globe. All right, it is my pleasure to welcome Tyler Houchins from Philadelphia.
The moment I saw him smile, I knew he was just my style. My only regret is we've never met, though I dream of him all the while. But he doesn't know I exist, no matter how I may persist. So it's clear to see there's no hope for me, though I live at 5135 Kensington Avenue, and he lives at 5133. How can I ignore the boy next door? I love him more than I can say. Doesn't try to please me, doesn't even tease me, and he never sees me glance his way. And though I'm heart sore, the boy next door affection for me won't display. I just adore him, so I can't ignore him. The boy next door. I can see his house from my window, so I'll just run out there and say hi and run right back inside and hide. I just adore him, so I can't ignore him. The boy next
My gosh, Tyler, you have got the most gorgeous voice.
Oh, thank you.
I'm so glad that we've made contact here. I've heard your name, but I had not met you before. So thank you, Barb Younger, again for another introduction. Thank you so much. Wow. So tell us a bit about Tyler Houchins.
I'm living in Philadelphia right now, and I do mostly cabaret work on really on the side, and just trying to do it as much as possible when I can. I just moved into a gorgeous new apartment with my partner, so we have tons of boxes everywhere. I'm trying my best to hide them from camera view. But I currently do before COVID, I was doing a weekly Judy Garland tribute show in retirement communities and nursing homes in the area, in the Philadelphia area. And I'm excited to I'm excited to get back to doing stuff like that and entertaining people that can't really get out there to see stuff easily. It's become a pretty big passion of mine, and hearing the stories that some of the people in the older generation have, it's just incredible to be able to go to them and share and have a nice experience with them.
And what's your day job?
I work in retail. I'm a retail manager. So it's 5 days a week, 40 hours a week, and it's been very interesting doing that in this kind of partial lockdown this limbo that we kind of remain in here in Philadelphia. But we're slowly coming out of that.
Were the
Slowly.
department stores open? Did they close or were they always open?
They closed. I was out of work for about 5 months. And yeah, they closed for I think 3, and then our city, like most major American cities, had a lot of protests and violence after the George Floyd shooting, and that delayed everything else. So I was out of work total for about 5 months. I think most retail stores in the city were closed for that long as well.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm glad you're back at work. So where do you sing when you're in Philly?
There is a little cabaret called Latage, which is on top of a creperie. And it's about an 80-seat house, and it it's just really cozy. That's usually where I go. And right now, since that's not open, I've started to do a monthly kitchen cabaret. So it's like a half hour, 45-minute Facebook Live and YouTube show of songs that I love. And I've also, I forgot who said it earlier, but I've started to take requests as well. So take some of the pressure off of me so I don't have to keep coming up with 45 minutes worth of stuff every month.
More than 300 songs.
Oh man, I know. That's just insane. I wish I could do that.
I think that's just beyond comprehension for me. Where's the Latage? Which part of town is it in?
Queen Village.
I'm not sure I know where that is.
So
I lived in Philly for a while.
Yeah, it's Latage is 1 block south of South Street on like 6th.
Oh, well, I lived at 3rd and Lombard.
Oh, so you were
I was
right
right there. It was a long time ago, though. It was a long time ago, 1981 to 1983.
Well, the city's definitely changed. I mean, even in the 10 years that I've been here, it's almost unrecognizable in some parts.
Yeah, I like Philly. Philly's a nice town. I always had a good time there.
Yeah, yeah. And Philly, I mean, kind of reminds me of London a little bit, how it embraces its past, but also embraces moving forward with the future. Some parts make me feel like I'm in London, especially Old City.
Yeah.
All of that old architecture.
Yeah, there is a similarity to it. So you said you lived here for a while, yes?
Yeah, I was there for 6 months. I studied at Rose Bruford College in Sidcup. Yeah, it's an experience that I really think about every day. And I try to go back as much as possible. I actually, the week before the UK shut down, my partner and I were in London. And the night before we left, Boris Johnson held his press conference and was like, okay, we're shutting down now. It's a good thing we're getting out tomorrow then.
Yeah, it was. Well, I hope you'll come back when we're through all of this, and I hope you'll come to the open mic. I would love to hear you sing live. I'm sure we all would agree with that.
Oh, thank you so much. That really means a lot.
Thank you. Lovely to meet you, Tyler Houchins. And now we're going to jump across the Atlantic again. It's time for Miss Crystal Ball.
I wish you bluebirds in the spring to give your heart a song to sing and then a kiss. But more than this, I wish you love. And in July, a lemonade to cool you in some leafy glade. I wish you health and more than wealth. I wish you love. My breaking heart, and I agree that you and I could never be. So with my best, my very best, I set you free. I wish you shelter from the storm, a cozy fire to keep you warm. But most of all, when snowflakes fall, I wish you love. Breaking heart, and I agree that you and I could never be. So with my best, my very best, I set you free. I wish you shelter from the storm, a cozy fire to keep you warm. But most of all, when snowflakes fall, I wish you love. But most of all, when snowflakes fall, I wish you love. But most of all, when snowflakes fall, I wish you love.
Oh, what a hoot. What a hoot, darling. What a hoot.
What a hoot, Crystal.
Hoot.
I love that. So it's almost like a little striptease with your eyes, you know?
I know. It's amazing the right angle of the camera can make me lose a chin or two, darling. I haven't positioned it
I
very
need
well.
to find that out.
Yeah, up, up, up with the camera.
So what's going on in your world? What's going on in your world? Any gigs
What's going
coming
on
up?
in my world? Well, first of all, this is the first time I've ever done anything for you, Harold.
I know.
I know it's very exciting, but my friend Shamini Aspen, who's done so many of these, gosh, it's quite a bore, really. She said, "Darling, go and do it. Go and do it. You'll have a great time." So I thought, oh, I'll put myself forward for you, Harold. And here I
I'm
am.
glad you did. I'm really glad you did because we've known each other for a while, but you've never sung at the open mic either.
Well, do you know why? I'm absolutely terrified. I've never really performed with a pianist. And so I actually don't know kind of what key I actually singing. Obviously, you know, in that video, the pianist was behind the curtain pressing the play on the CD player. Do you know what I mean? And they're buried in the back here at the moment. But it terrifies me. I'd love to do it, but you're also wonderful. And I'm too scared. I'm too scared.
Well, you get your drag queen legs together and you come and sing us a song, okay?
I will. Thank you, darling. I will. I'll find something. And I sing from the basement, Harold. And you like really happy songs. And I'm thinking, looking at my list going, gosh, I've got Billie Holiday. I sing a load of that, blah, blah, blah. And I thought, what can I do which isn't really sad? And that was kind of the middle.
You want to hear a funny story about this song?
Go on.
when I did my very first cabaret show, which was in 2008, I asked my parents if they wanted me to sing a song. And they said, yes, we'd like you to sing I Wish You Love, because we fell in love to that song.
Oh.
So I went and I read the lyrics. I didn't know the song, and it's goodbye, no more leading. This is where our story ends. Never lovers, ever friends. And I said, are you sure you actually fell in love to this song? I said, it's not about falling in love at all. And they said, nobody listens to the words anyway.
Oh, I mean, it makes complete sense. It's actually, it's a really strange song because it's kind of happy, sad. When you listen to the words, you're like, well, actually, you're going, do you know what? I really love you, but off you go, kind of thing. And I was umming and ahhing between doing that version or the Blossom Dearie version, which is a slightly bit more upbeat, because I love Blossom Dearie very much. And I thought, oh, which should I do? And I thought, no, I'm in that kind of groove. It's very difficult because I live in a bedsit, believe it or not, right behind me in Surbiton. And between that and working for the NHS, I thought I need to squeeze a video in. So I'm in the tiniest apartment trying to do this video. And all I can see is, please iron the drapes, Crystal, next time. Iron the drapes. But I'm glad you noticed the eyes. All I could see was my drapes.
Oh, nobody paid attention to the drapes. All we could pay attention to with those beautiful eyes and that lovely makeup. There was nothing else to pay attention to, and the lovely voice too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyway, I'm really glad you finally got your courage up, and I'm delighted that you came and joined us today. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. I'm
and
really
I
enjoying
hope to
myself.
see you live one of these times too.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Miss Crystal Ball.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Now we're going to jump across the Atlantic again, and it is my pleasure to welcome Nicholas King.
How do you say to your child in the night, nothing's all black, but then nothing's all white? How can you say it'll all be all right when you know that it mightn't be true? What do you do? Careful the things you say, children will listen. Careful the things you do, children will see and learn. Children may not obey, but children will listen. Children will look to you for which way to turn, to learn what to be. Careful before you say, listen to me. Children will listen. Careful the wish you make. Wishes are children. Careful the path they take. Wishes come true, not free. Oh, careful the spell you cast, not just on children. Sometimes the spell may last past what you can see and turn against you. Careful the tale you tell, that is the spell. Children will listen, children will listen. How do you say to your child who's in flight, don't slip away and I won't hold so tight? What can you say that no matter how slight won't be misunderstood? What do you leave to your child when you're dead? Only whatever you put in its head. Things that your mother and father once said, which were left to them too. Careful what you do. Children will listen. Careful you do it too. Children will see and learn. Guide them and step away. tamper with what is true, and children will turn if just to be free. Careful before you say, listen to me. Children will listen. Children will listen. Children will
Woo! Oh my gosh. That's a voice I could live in, Nicholas. You need to unmute yourself, though.
If that's not the phrase of 2020, you need to unmute yourself. If we Nichols every time we heard that.
Words I never thought I would have to learn to say.
Boy, you're not.
Oh my gosh, that was so beautiful, really. Just your voice is just amazing, really. Really, really, really. So let's talk a bit about your new CD, Act One. I watched your CD release on YouTube. That was really special. So many people you've worked with in your 30 years on this earth, 25 performing. So tell us a bit about this CD.
Well, the record, it started last year because I had, like everybody else, I had a very, very full 2020 schedule. And I thought, gee, I'd really love to have a product to sell at concerts. And, I figured, well, I don't really like anything that I have currently. Let me make like a little compilation, something, maybe a couple new recordings, and I'll just have something to sell. And then, of course, lockdown hit, and I found myself with loads of free time. And I just kept doing all this, research and unpacking, different boxes and scrapbooks. And I came across all these old things. I thought, man, this could actually be a kind of a nice little retrospective album. And we took some old recordings from when I'm about 4.5 years old, 5 years old, and sort of remastered some of them. And it just became like a good little scrapbook, a good little retrospective of the last 25 years of my career. And I was able to get even a couple guest appearances with people I've worked with in the past. We've got Liza Minnelli's on the record. Tom Selleck is on the record, making his singing debut, and even some new duets with Norm Lewis and Jane Monheit. So it's a joy to look back on those 25 years, but it makes me excited, obviously, about the next 25 years and so forth. But it was just so much fun to put together and to go down memory lane,
Well, it's a beautiful CD.
Thank
Can
you.
Tell us a little bit about your time with Liza?
Liza Minnelli? Is there any other? There's only one.
Yeah,
but,
there's only one person who goes by Liza.
It's true. It's true. Well, I met Liza a number of times when I was little. But it was about the time I was about maybe 10 years old or so. Tom Selleck brought her as my opening night present in a show that we were doing on Broadway, 1,000 Clowns. And when I was finished with my curtain call, she was backstage waiting for me. And I just thought that was just the coolest thing in the world. So I met her really officially then. And then my grandmother, Angela Bakari, became her vocal coach the following year. So naturally, she would say, "Hey, you want to tag along? I'm going to Liza's house for a few nights. You want to come and hang out?" Gee, let me think about it. Yes, And so we'd hang out, and then before long, Liza got the idea. Do you want to open for me? And I thought, sure. What does it mean to open? I don't know what that means. Open what? I didn't really understand what that meant, but yeah. So from that point forward, I started working with her, and she directed my first. Hello, that's my phone. Don't mind me. It'll go to voicemail. I still have a landline because I'm 1,000 years old.
At 30.
And essentially, what did I say after that? Yeah, so we started working together, and then she ended up directing my first nightclub act when I was about 11 years old, and that's it. She just stayed a piece of my life from that part forward.
So, what's the next 30 years going to be like if the last 25 were so exciting? I can't even begin to project how exciting your life is going to be ahead of you.
Man, I have no clue. I mean, if this, if this last year was any indication, it lets us know that we have absolutely no idea what the future holds. But I feel very blessed to have met and to work with some really lovely people, and I do hope that that things will continue. I mean, we just received the good news this week that things are starting to open up here in New York, so I'm very hopeful. I'm very hopeful that that we can get some stuff cooking. I've got some summer dates booked so far. I'm hoping that they don't cancel, but everything's so up in the air. But I am working on a new record with my record label, Club 44 Records, that ought to come out next year. So we've got a million irons in the fire. But like all these other fabulously talented people that I've heard today, we're all just ready to go. And I think the minute that things open up and we can do it, I think all of you will agree, right? We're ready to hit the pavement again. So as soon as they let us. Yeah,
we're all so ready.
I know.
And so, what about London? Any idea if you'll be coming to London for a live gig?
Do you know? I have a true confession. I've actually never been to London.
What?
I have flown out of London. I've been. My best friend is from Lancashire. So I've gone up to Lancashire to go hang out, but I haven't really, that's about as far as I've gotten. And we've done Northern England and it's quite lovely, yes, but that's about it. I haven't done anything south of York. So I'm due to come and visit. I think, where did I stay? In Burnley. I stayed in Burnley. Of all
You're
places.
pretty good at the accents.
Well, I said it. I go, well, I was saying it. They go, no, you're saying it too happy. When you're in Burnley, you have to say it as if you just found out that your entire house has caught on fire. I'm from Burnley. And they go, that's it. And I said, oh, good. Am I doing it right? Yeah, just depression. Burnley. That's it. You nailed it. So that's about as far south as I've ever gone. So I am very, very due to come to England and to come down to London and to experience it. I have to see it.
What about theater here?
I want to see it and I want to be in it.
I mean, be in it. I mean, yes, we have good theater.
I want to do all of it.
How come you haven't been cast in a musical here? I'm kind of shocked
from your mouth to whoever's ears. Boy, I'll tell you, I would be delighted to. I love Broadway, of course, but I would love a shot at being on the West End. That would be an absolute dream, honestly.
Well, you need to get them to revive Beauty and the Beast.
Yes. This way, I can. I think I'll go out for the clock this time.
Well,
what's funny is that at the very beginning of quarantine, I chipped you can't see it, but I chipped my tooth. I was chewing a sesame seed bagel like a 1,000-year-old man, and I chipped my tooth. And I said, well, now I'm actually my namesake now. I'm actually Chip now, because now I walk around with this thing over here. I got to get it fixed before I come to London. I'll get it fixed.
Are you called Chip?
Well, in Beauty and the Beast, I played Chip.
I see. Oh, so I'm sorry.
That's why I thought you mentioned that. I'm sorry. I thought that's why you brought that up.
I did mention Beauty and the Beast, but of course it just went right past me in terms of the.
Oh yeah, no, that was my first job. That was my first job on Broadway.
No, I know. I saw the post with you and Andrea McCardle. It was really quite exciting.
Yeah, I just saw her this weekend. She's such a powerhouse, boy. That girl can sing.
Yeah, she can, but so can you. And I'm really delighted that you've joined us again. Thank you so much.
My absolute pleasure. Thank you, Harold. Thank you so much for doing this. It's been dark and dismal for a lot of us from time to time, but to have little luminaries here and there, and someone like you who's been doing this so steadily and with so much joy, I mean, it's just so apparent. And I thank you on behalf of all of us. I mean, we just thank you so much for keeping this going and giving us a reason to smile. So thank you.
Thank you so much. That really touches my heart. Thank you. Nicholas King, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Before we move on to our next performer, who I'm going to chat with before her song, I just want to take this opportunity to thank everyone who's watching all over the world. I want to thank Michael Ralston, the fastest finger in London. Pick up that finger again, Michael, and show it to us. No, you're not going to show us your finger again? That's okay. And I'm going to unmute you all so we can clap for everybody now. So let's go back through all the performers that we've heard sing tonight. Shireen Francis and Anton Brown. Lauren Lucille and Ralph Lewis. Michael Ralston and Sarah Louise Young. Ralston and Young. Anthony Cable. Doug Anderson. Elizabeth Desiree, Samantha, Tyler Houchins, Michael Ball, Nicholas King. Next singer who you can applaud in advance is Alexandra Kapralian. Thank you so much. Before I go on to talk with Alexandra, I just want to say that when she finishes singing, I'm going to stop the recording and stop the stream. And please stay around. Let's have a drink, catch up, schmooze afterwards. Stay as long as you can. And that would be great. So let me find Alexandra here now. There you are, sweetheart. You're there. Speak. Then we can.
Hi.
Wait, I'm going to mute everybody so that I'll mute you, and then I'm going to unmute you. There we go. There we go. You and I are doing it at the same time. You do it. There we go. Okay.
We got it. We got it.
We got it. Yes. Oh my gosh. So good to see you. I don't remember when we met, but it's like 100 years ago.
I don't want to think about when we met because it was 100 years ago. I feel
It's
like
a long, long time ago. We met at Birdland, I remember, and you gave me your CD, which I listen to regularly. I love it. I just love your voice. And so I'm really happy that I've been able to have you on the show now.
No, I love it. Thank you.
So what's your day job? You said lockdown was crazy for you. So what does that mean? What do you do by day?
It was crazy because of other circumstances, but I work in HR. I hire and I pay and I deal with the benefits and I deal with legal issues. It's a hoot. It's great.
You work for a big corporation?
I work for a management consulting company. Yeah, so we have offices in New York and San Francisco and Abu Dhabi. So it's all over the place.
Well, that probably keeps you on your toes. So what about singing? What have you been up to in terms of music while you've been in lockdown?
I really haven't been able to do a whole hell of a lot, unfortunately. But I did just get some new recording equipment, so it's been nice to kind of be in my own bubble, in my own, I've set it up in my closet. So it's kind of nice, so I've been able to kind of do that as much as I possibly can in the comfort of my own home because I haven't been able to do much out here. I've only done one other web series and voiceovers I've done for a couple commercials, but that's been through my work and some of our clients. So that's as much as I've been able to do in front of a microphone up until today. So
well, I'm so glad that I got in touch because that's really wonderful.
Yeah.
And I really love your voice. So let's not waste another minute. Let's hear this fabulous song that you've got in store for us. Do you pronounce your surname Kapralian or Kapralian?
Kapralian, like chameleon, Kapralian.
Kapralian. Okay, I'm glad I asked because I was saying it wrong. It's time for Alexandra Kapralian.
Sorry, give me a second. It was doing so well.
He wouldn't show us his finger. That's why. Here we go.
It was just one of those things, just one of those crazy flings, one of those bells that now and then rings, just one of those things. It was just one of those nights, just one of those fabulous flights, a trip to the moon on gossamer wings, just one of those things. If we thought a bit about the end of it when we started painting the town, we'd have been aware that our love affair was too hot not to cool down. So goodbye, dear, and amen. Well, here's hoping we'd meet now and then. It was great fun, but it was just one of those things. If we thought a bit about the end of it when we started painting the town, we'd have been aware that a love affair was too hot, hot, hot not to cool down. So goodbye, dear, and amen. Here's hoping we'd meet now and then. It was great fun, but it was just one of those things.
Woohoo! Woohoo! Alexandra Caprillion! Woohoo! Thank you all so much. Thank you so much to all the singers and to Michael Rolston. And I am going to stop the recording. It is now stopped. And I am going to stop